Did you know that Nova Scotia is one of the founding provinces of Canada? It's also famous for its high tides, its lobster fishing industry, and our very own lifestyle expert, Sarah Gunn. She's joining us from there right now.
Nova Scotia is our happy place. No matter where I have lived in the world, I've gone home every single year since I moved away in 1998. That is, until last year when the pandemic hit and we couldn't come home. So we are making the most of our vacation this year.
I have been waiting for years to share our happy place with you, and I am so excited to be shooting from this beautiful and slightly windy province.
There are so many things to see and do here, and we did all of our favorites and even went on some new adventures. Most people who come to Nova Scotia in the summer, we spend most of our days at the beach. I like to call it nature's theme park. Because of the tides, it's different every single day. I even tried to paddleboard, which so far has not been a success, but maybe trying to stand up on the ocean wasn't my best idea. We have spent a ton of time with family, which has been the absolute best. I love watching the boys play with their cousins at the beach. And this time I took the kids on a truly Nova Scotian experience. We headed to the Fundy Shore to see what that beautiful side of the province has to offer. We stayed at the stunning Digby Pines Resort and Spa, a beautiful Norman-style chateau overlooking Annapolis Basin. Digby is known as the scallop capital of the world. It's completely worth a walk along the waterfront to see the beautifully colorful scallop fleet. From there, the boys and I set off to catch the short ferry ride from East Ferry to Tiverton on Long Island for one of our favorite things we've ever done.
We are super excited because we are about to have a uniquely Nova Scotian experience. We are headed out and about for a scenic lobster tour. Can't wait. Let's go.
If you have ever been curious about lobster fishing and want to see it in action, the Bay of Fundy Scenic Lobster Tour is for you. Hosted by Captain Kyle and Guide Tamara on their lobster fishing vessel called the Second Secret.
Come up aboard.
We learned about the lobster fishing industry while touring the beautiful coastline.
This one's a male. I showed you the female. These are obviously a lot more hard and dominant looking, right?
Including a stop by the Boar's Head Lighthouse and the gravity-defying Balancing Rock. You can hike to both of these attractions as well, but they were really beautiful to see from the water. Next, we headed to Whale Cove Harbor. Tamara, who's one of the few women who work full-time in the lobster fishing industry in Nova Scotia, showed us how to haul lobster traps and how they work. Watching her toss those 75-pound traps around was really impressive.
The next morning, we woke up bright and early and headed to the Clare region. We're going clam digging. The Acadians and the Mi'kmaq before them have been expertly digging for clams in this region for centuries. Our guide Marcel from the Municipality of Clare Tourism Association took us on the beach during low tide to try it for ourselves.
First, we learned where to look for clams and how to measure them. Marcel showed us how to walk along the sand or in the shallow water and feel for clams with your feet and the tool. Once you tap a hard surface, it's time to dig.
I just want to say that I found the first clam.
When you find a clam, you have to measure it to make sure it's the right size to take home.
Will have a marking on their fork
Oh, smart.
so that it looks like this.
Yes.
So then we can just take our clam and measure it up.
It was incredible experiencing this on such a beautiful beach as the tide rolled in.
Tracy, this vacation has been incredible, and I have not even talked about the shopping yet.
I'm going to say this about this whole situation, Sarah. Every time you go out east, it's like the real Sarah Gunn. You are in your element. You love it so much. And I think it's amazing that we feel like we're right there with you on all of these adventures. So, you know, I have a thing for moms. Tell me a little bit, how was it like to see your mom after such a long time separated?
Well, as you know, Tracy, it was 2 years, and we joked, you know, over these 2 years while Mom would talk to the boys that they've grown so much that she would need a ladder to stand up and give them a hug. So sure enough, we pulled into her driveway at 6:30 in the morning, and there was my mother standing on a ladder in the driveway to hug her grandchildren, and they thought that was just hilarious. It was so cute.
Yeah, they laughed, and I would probably cry. Like, I just think that's so beautiful. That is such a sweet, sweet moment. My gosh. Okay, tell me, what has been the best part of your trip so far?
Well, I'd like to say it was mastering paddleboarding, but I still haven't. Although someone did say that trying to stand up in the ocean maybe wasn't my best idea. But it honestly has to be just making all these new memories with the kids. And I have to give a shout out to Pam Wambach from Tourism Nova Scotia. She went above and beyond for us to go on all these exciting adventures to share our happy place with all of you. And it's just a testament to the people out in the East Coast who are so helpful and so kind and so friendly.
It's a beautiful thing seeing you and the boys and Jamie there having such a good time. So let's talk shopping, Sarah. You had some fun shopping, didn't you?
I always do. Shopping is a priority when I come to this province, especially when you go to Lunenburg and Mahone Bay, because you've got the scenery, you've got the food, and you've got the shopping.
Okay, so talk to me a little bit about that rum, because this is a very interesting story, and I love it. This is boat-aged rum, so do tell.
Yeah, so this is called Rumbo Rum, and it is aged out in the harbor in Lunenburg by Ironworks Distillery. They send it out there in barrels on the boat, and then they bring it into shore twice a year, and then they harvest the rum, which I think is so cool. And then my favorite thing from them, though, Trace, is their berry liqueurs, because they're all made with Nova Scotia berries, and it's like unlike anything you've ever tasted. I get one every year.
Lovely. Okay, what other treasures did you find?
All right. Well, for us, no trip here is complete without a visit to the Maritime Painted Salt Box. And that is an art gallery run by Peter and Tom, two local artists here in Petite Riviere. And they create the most beautiful, colorful, East Coast inspired art that you'll ever see. And then they've got other pieces like this as well, which is very East Coast. And I love that they have such fun names for their art too. This one's called Pub Crawl.
I love it. That's how I want to crawl from pub to pub on a little boat. Like, that's beautiful, so vibrant.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, so talk to me about vintage.
I may have done that.
You may have done that, huh? I know that you've got a real eye for things that are old that you can make beautiful or put in your place. So what did you get when it comes to the vintage finds?
Well, I mean, back in the day, there used to be a lot more antique stores than there are now. But if you're driving any of the scenic routes in Nova Scotia, you're going to come across one or two, or maybe if you're lucky, an outdoor antique market. So this is one of the purchases I made this summer. It's a crock. I'm already picturing putting a Christmas tree. You know how I love to decorate for Christmas. So I'm going to use that for Christmas. And it even has a lid. And you know what? I don't necessarily shop for valuable vintage pieces. I just shop for things that I think are beautiful. So I don't mind that it has a chip. I think that just adds to the character. And then the boys surprised me with this beauty. I saw it in a store when we were in Lunenburg, I think, actually. And it's actually a vintage mold. And you know, Tracy, I'm not so great in the kitchen, so I don't know if this was for cake or jelly or what, but I'm going to use it for flowers.
Of course you are. I love that.
Yeah.
What else did you grab?
Okay, so actually, I saw these 2 years ago when I was here, but because I was flying, I couldn't get them. But I don't know if you can see, it's shocking. They're floral vintage plates, and I think they're so delicate and pretty. And so Mom bought them, and now I'm looking over because she's over there. I'm taking them home with me.
Okay, Sarah, I mentioned off the top I have a thing for moms. Do you think she's TV ready? You want to drag her in here just for a quick hello?
I 100% knew you would ask that, Tracy, and I already said to her, Mom, if Tracy asked you to come on camera, will you come on camera?
What'd she say?
Like, unfortunately, I can't, because she said no, because she's barricaded on the other side of the room here. I've got all like the tripod and the lights and the kitchen tables pushed in the corner. She's like, oh, unfortunately, I just can't.
Okay, well, you need to give her a big kiss since she's in your bubble from me. And next time, I'm going to get her on camera. That was a very good tour of the shopping. I loved it. Bring me some rum. Thank you so much, Sarah. That was great.